and particularly on Leah Volti and Caitlin Ford. I'm not sure, there was some confusion over whether she pulled out the squad on Wednesday night, whether they're available.
Yeah, so both precaution, we chose to not have Volti in the squad for Brighton. Molly was in the squad, felt something, she was assessed, all good.
And for Caitlin as well?
Yeah, so same for Volti, she was on the pitch today.
Okay, sorry, I missed that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask a couple of questions about some individual players. You played Rosa Kafaji on Wednesday night and played her out wide, and before the game on Wednesday I was just having a little look at the data, which I like to do sometimes, and I mean it kind of confirmed what I can see with my eyes, right, that Rose is a very, very good dribbler, but perhaps some of the off-ball stuff needs work, and you mentioned Mariona as well, and off-ball stats are off the charts in terms of winning the ball back, and I wondered whether, you know, for now, for Rosa, being out wide is actually quite a good solution, both for her and for Arsenal, because there's maybe a bit more space there.
Yeah, so without going in too much detail, we've been looking at, obviously we see Rose as a very good player for now and for the future for Arsenal, and what do we need as a team, what qualities does Rosa bring to the team? One of the things you mentioned is a dribbler, 1v1 player with forward intent and deep runs, and that's what we want on the wings, depending on what side and what game, etc. But she's a player that can bring that to the team. We put high value on defending, so it's very important for us that you do your role in all phases of the game really, really well. And some parts of it are quite complex, especially if you come here as a new player. So we accept the process that Rosa is in, and she's doing really well. She's progressing really well. If you look at the different positions in our team, then probably the central position is even more complex than the wing position out of position. So looking at the whole picture, but yeah, I think I was happy with quite some bits from Rosa last Wednesday.
And just the last one from me, probably someone who was in a similar position to Rosa last year was Kyra Cooney-Cross, and I'm sure you worked with her a lot last season, and I think she already played more WSL minutes so far this season than the whole of last. And just how you've seen her kind of progression, and maybe for someone like Rosa, that's something to point to as well, right?
Yeah, we've seen that. I think with many younger players, talented players that come to Arsenal, that it might need some time to adjust. It's a big step. You go to a big club, high demands. You move to another country. Many cases. So the whole life situation changes, and you get to know new coaches, new staff members, new players, new teammates. So we accept that can take a little bit of time. You could see that with Kyra as well. She's an excellent player. I think she's done so well for us, and if you look at the level she's performing at now at the moment, it's just yeah, she's very good for us. She's very good for us. So you could see it took some time for her to adjust to Arsenal life in St. Albans and everything that we expect from that player in that position. If you look at how she's performing now, I'm very happy with her. She's invested a lot of work.
And sorry, can I ask one more as well? Just on the last two league games against against Chelsea, Arsenal have started very badly. And I wonder whether that's something you'll put specific focus on, that first 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, no, it's something in general, not specific for Chelsea, but something in general that we speak about. Like we break the game into 15-minute blocks from all aspects of football, and we've seen that the first 15 minutes for us, they are important, and I think we've improved in that part of the game. But yeah, it will be important.
Hi Renee, nice to see you. Again, obviously the last time you played Chelsea was the last game before you took charge of the team, and it feels like a lot has changed in the past 3 months since then. So I'm just wondering, like, looking back to that game, I guess that day as a whole, just what kind of top line memories of that, and what are the big things that have changed since then?
Yeah, I think the momentum of us at that time was maybe not a positive momentum, so we came away from it was tight turnarounds as well. We came away from Munich with a loss, and then had to go in straight into a home game against Chelsea. And but I think if you look at the game again, if you look at the stats of the game, we actually do quite well in that game. Chelsea goes we need to focus on. But at the same time, we also have to believe in what we're doing at the moment, and I think we know what we want to do on Sunday, and so it's going to be exciting to see where we're at compared to that game. But I and the players as well have a big belief in what we're doing at the moment.
Yeah, so it's interesting you mentioned there's like you're almost taking I guess inspiration away from that game and how it comes towards Chelsea, because for much of the season it's felt like Chelsea are unstoppable. I mean they've only dropped 2 points all year. So kind of how are you finding ways to I guess address and take on that challenge? It sounds daunting when you say that, but find a way.
Of course, we're humble for the task. We know how good Chelsea is and what they've been on an impressive run of games. So very impressed with what they've been doing. But what we want to do is just take this game and approach it as any other game. I think the things that we've been doing really well is being composed and calm about any opposition that we're going to play. We're humble, but also have a big belief in what we're doing, and we try to approach this game in the exact same way.
And just finally, kind of that point, do you feel there's like a really big rivalry between Arsenal and Chelsea? Because it always seems like things happen when you two play. What was your take on it? What's like the relationship between the two teams like?
Like for me personally, I care a lot about Arsenal, so I want to do the best for Arsenal. But of course, I understand what it means for fans and what it means for certain players. So yeah, it's going to be a game that's going to be tight. I think there's going to be some physical battles on the pitch, and I think momentum will probably shift between the two teams. So it's going to be interesting to see who can capitalize on when the momentum is there and the chances are there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Aisha, back.
Hi Renee. Hi. You mentioned there that you take each game in the same way, but I was just wondering, you often go into games maybe expected to win, and this one maybe slightly different based on Chelsea's form. And I wanted to ask whether there's a difference in the mentality or a difference in your intention when you go out there and set up.
No, to be honest, we don't expect to win every game that we go into. We're actually very humble for any task, and we prep very detailed, and that's what we're going to do now as well. So I don't think that changes, but you always have to be realistic about the opposition weaknesses and strengths, and that changes from game to game. So Chelsea will ask us different questions, but I think, like I've been saying, all the WSL games are challenging in different ways. The games we've played in Champions League have been challenging in different ways, and now on Sunday it's Chelsea that's going to ask us questions. So in that sense, we just prepare in the same way, but very detailed.
And you and Sonia Bompastor go head to head on Sunday, and we've spoken about the lack of women in managerial positions, and I wanted to hear from your perspective how significant it is that it's 2 female managers managing currently the best 2 teams in the country on the big stage on Sunday.
Yeah, I'm happy that there's more and more opportunities for women in sports in general, and you see it in different roles. I think ideally you'll have women working in men's sport, and you have men working in women's sport, and there's opportunities for everyone with no respect to gender. So it's obviously very good, and it says something about the opportunities that are given and how different federations are working to get more women into top roles in football. And I think UEFA has been pushing this as well, offering scholarships and trying to find ways to get more women into coaching. So that's very positive.
Thank you. Good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
Sandra.
Hi Renee. During your time in charge, you've seen Arsenal find different ways to win, whether it's the kind of heavy kind of drubbings that have been dealt out recently to opposition, but then also how you came from behind against Bayern Munich to beat them, very rain-soaked Meadow Park. But how important is it to have that kind of in your toolkit, so to speak, particularly when you're going up against Chelsea with all they have at their disposal?
Yeah, no, I think we're really building with the team. So we try to be unpredictable, and we try to be able to win games in different ways, and we want to be good in all phases of the game, and then understanding what the opposition is giving to us and try to exploit that. So that's one part of it. I think that's what you need to be in top football. If you want to be a top team at the moment, you need to be good at everything. You need to be able to exploit different things in different that builds a top team, and that's what we're trying to build with the team at the moment.
And obviously, given the result that in the reverse of the fixture at the Emirates, and see no one in Europe beating Chelsea so far this season, how significant would it be if Arsenal were to get the result they want on Sunday?
Yeah, of course, and we go for that. We go for the win, and we have to believe in what we do. But again, respect Chelsea for who they are and what the strengths they have. Thanks.
Oh yeah, sorry. I didn't know my name. So in your career as a player and a coach, and also playing for the Netherlands, have you ever played or coached against Sonia Bompastor before?
I might have played against her, but I'm not sure. But I haven't coached against her.
So what kind of things do you admire about the way she manages?
I think she's very detailed. I've got the impression. I think as it looks like, she wants her team to be very optimistic and go towards goal. Aggressive out of possession. I think I see some things that they're doing that I can recognize from the France national team. So I see the French ideas, but I see what Chelsea is and what they usually are. I think they're very powerful, 4th and 10th pressing, and that combination I think is probably a good combination, that coach with that team. So I think she's really trying to get the best out of that team, and it's impressive to see, of course, top coaches doing top work with teams.
You said opportunistic, and it's interesting. I've been to some of her press conferences where they won by a million miles, like 5 or whatever, and she's still not satisfied because she says she wants them to shoot every time they see the goal, and you can see that there've been some outrageous ones from like miles away by like Lucy Bronze or Aggie Beaver-Jones, I think, just took one and she didn't even realise, so she's quite fierce with them, and I think, does that mean Arsenal have to set up slightly more man-to-man, as it were?
No, that wouldn't mean that we would go to a man-to-man system, but obviously we're aware of the threats they have. I think they have some really good players up front, and that's indeed what we've seen. Like I said, I think Sonia makes her team play very optimistic and is very demanding, and I think you see them dribble into the box, getting shots off, and so in and around the box they're very, very goal directed, so we'll have to be very disciplined in our defensive structure. Can we stop those situations early? Great, but if they come through a couple of times, then we have to defend that really, really well.
Yeah, and getting maybe off the bench, I guess, maybe. The way you've changed it in the last 2 games, that was the big change, isn't it?
Sorry,
Bringing different players off the bench.
Yeah, and that definitely helped us the last 2 games in our attacking details. But yeah, Chelsea's going to ask us different things, so we'll see how we're going to manage the game of that so.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Hi Renee, can I just ask, what's the importance of Leslie Russo, not just in terms of a big game like Sunday, but generally as a player and person around the club, around the training on a day-to-day basis?
Yeah, I'm very impressed with who Alessia is as a person, because she's just a very good person and cares for everyone, so for teammates, she cares for staff, and she always treats everyone with big respect. So, and then if you see the hard work she invests on the training pitch, she's very humble about things, about herself. She works really hard, but then there's also a big belief in who she is and how she can impact the game for us as a team. So she's just a great player to have in the team, and I'm very happy for her that she's getting out of herself, what she wants to get out of herself. So yeah, it's a great player to work with.
And she appears to be thriving under your leadership.
Yeah, I hope so, and that's what I want. I want to get the best out of players, see if we can play them to their strengths, and we invest a lot of time in that as a staff, and the players need to invest in it as well, and that's what's happening hopefully with Alessia at the moment. Thanks.
Hi Renee, Jen Beattie announced her retirement from professional football this week. I know you won't have had too long with her here, but what impression did she leave on you, and how would you pay tribute to her career?
Yeah, definitely also a very good person, very good teammate. Same there, she's very good with the girls in the team. She has leadership, she cares and demands, she's had a great career. She's meant a lot for the team she's played for, and it's going to be interesting to see if she's going to stay in football and what role she's going to contribute with. Because I hope she will stay in an active role around women's football.
Could she come back here potentially? She even had roles on the commercial team, mentoring academy players. Is the door always open here at Arsenal?
Yeah, that's not up to me to say, but all I know and all I want to say is that Jen is a really good person.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi Renee. The last few days, the last couple of weeks, we've seen a lot of the younger Arsenal talent heading out on loan. Just wanted to ask you a bit about how's that process been for the club, what are your hopes for the future, and why is the Championship such a good league for them to spend the second half of the season?
Yeah, no, so I think we're very happy with every individual player. We try to find the right pathway and what's best for this player for the short term and the long term. How do we develop them? And for quite some players at the moment that we've signed with, those young players, we think it's the best solution to go on loan and get minutes. And I think the Championship, if you look at how that's developing and how the top teams are playing and how the clubs are helping the women's team and the resources they get, I think it's going quick in a very good direction. So I'm very comfortable with those players being there, and we're sure they will get the development we hope they get, because they are in a good environment, and then it's obviously still up to the player to try and bloom and take ownership of their development. But I think all the girls that we have here, they are very keen to take ownership and try to get the best out of their potential. So yeah, I'm very happy for the girls and look forward to see how they will do.
So last one from Robert at the back.
Hi Rennie, I was just going to look back at the match again and just get your overall assessment of what you faced with the Chelsea women team. Who stood out for you in the key matchups on Sunday?
What game do you want to discuss?
The Chelsea women's match on Sunday. Just your overall assessment of them and the key matchups.
Yeah,
Players
so
that stood out for you.
yeah, so they have some, like I said, I think they have a big strengths in their attacking line. They have dribblers, they have shooters, they have finishers. So that's definitely something it's going to be a great challenge for our players on that line. Our six is to defend that really well.